Greetings everybody, Amar here. Hope all is well with everyone. And I've decided to play Pennsylvania Cache 5. I was playing Texas, but I got cut off. My benefactor, he switched games. I had a big money miss, and things just kind of really just fritzed out. So the only really game that I have control of is Pennsylvania. Now the problem is that means that I have to build all the charts that I built for Texas from scratch. And that's going to take time. I haven't really wanted to do it, but I have built some preliminaries. I have those printed out. I have to work on making macros to expedite the process. Otherwise, I find myself just repeating the same tasks over and over. And if I do multiple games, I want to have all of those charts, and it's like 85 different charts. Some of them are actually Gale Howard charts, such as this chart, which is the skip and hit chart. Now, I always print this chart out hard copy, and then I'll highlight the best skip areas, right? So for instance, like here, you can see, let's see if I can find an example here for the number. All right, see the number 3. All right, so you can see number 3, the 43 times at skip 3 is better than 37 times at skip 2, and it's so that I would highlight that. Now I don't print out this other chart, which is chart F4, but this is actually the same chart as the other chart, but it's graphical. The other one is like a table. So I always go through the skips. Now, just so you know, I just did an auto update, and I think I just realized that I didn't do the last drawing for Texas. So I'm going to go into the main menu and go to 2, edit, and then, so it's the 19th. The 7 came out finally after exhaustion. So let's see, F6 is update. And the numbers were, oh, this is Virginia. The numbers were, ah shit, I didn't fucking put it on the paper. Damn it. Going by memory, fuck, where's my phone? I'll have to look at my phone. Going by memory, I believe the numbers were 0, 7, 10, 17, 26, 36. Alright, so escape, done, F10, save. Now the reason why I remember is because I entered in the numbers into my Excel chart, and then I was analyzing the patterns. So there was a whole bunch of adjacents, I remember. So if you look at this, the drawing sense hit chart, I remember the 7 came in exhaustion because I was playing the 7 around here. I did a multi-draw around here. I thought it would come in around skip 14, or maybe it was around here. I thought it would come in as an adjacent around skip 18, and then it did an exhaustion to 33, and then it came in. So, but I'm not going to go with the 7 because there's another trend that I see. All right, so the 10 was an adjacent. I remember there was 2 last digit 7s, so 7, 17, and there was 2 last digit 6s. Yeah, so the 26 came in a flag. You can see the 0, 5 flag here, and the other one was a 36. It was the other adjacent. So yeah, so I believe that is correct, and there was no numbers higher. There's no numbers in the 40s decade. So I'm not going to look at the phone. That's just memory. So then what I like to do is I go to chart 6, right? And like I said, this is a hard copy chart, so I can anticipate the better skips. And then I go to, and you need that for anticipation, because when you go to the just the graphical bar charts, this is always current to the current game. So you can't actually look. Well, actually you can see. You could actually print all these out, and you can see the better skips. Now, one thing that's different between Advantage Gold and Advantage Plus is that this guide changes. So like here for number 1, skip 64. This is 64 times. So here this is skip 0. So this is 0, and then this is around 54. But if you go to the next number 2, Okay, that stays the same. This is 0. But if you go to like a worse number, okay, that stays the same. Let's get to a worse number. There you go. This is a worse number. 39, you see it changed. So you might think it's good overall, but it's good for that particular number, but not good for all the numbers in general. Hope that makes sense. So anyway, I go through here and I just look at, I use the up and down arrow keys. So I generally start at number 1. All right, so I look here and I'm like, nah. Look at 2. It's like, yeah. 3, yeah. 4, meh. 5, meh. 6, meh. 7, yes, very good for repeating. However, it's only one dormant period, and the trend looks like it's not coming off of the, there's a trend in the 10-game group count where 1 through 13 is not hitting, and it's a hot and hitting flag, so I want to stick with that. But the 7 to repeat is pretty good. I might play like a separate side wheel, 2 games or whatever with the 7, but I don't like to play more than, I don't like to do multiple multi-draws because then it's too expensive. All right, so let's see. And then 8, and so 8 is over here. Skip 1. Yeah, that looks good. 9, not so good. 10, okay. 11. 11 is actually bad. Let's skip 1. Let's see. Now this is just a guide. It doesn't mean that the number won't skip at that skip. I usually try to look at an overall long trend during the recent time period. Those charts are much more difficult to make. Those are the ice pyramids I told you about, which I may do a video on me taking down the Texas charts from the wall. Maybe I'll scan those to my website or I'll put them in a book. The problem is that they're not once I print them out, they have to be updated manually. I have no way to you can't go to like a website and say, all right, click, give me the new chart, the updated information. I'm sure it's not impossible. I'll have to ask somebody to do it, maybe pay somebody, because the macro and tail is pretty ridiculous, and it requires logic, and I haven't gotten to the logic part of the course. I mean, I went through it briefly, but it's just the logic is just too much. Like I know exactly what I want to do. I know the particular steps in the logic, the if, then, and, loop, whatever. But it's it's complicated because I've never done that before. It's brand new. All right, anyway. So like I said, here's 13. Now the numbers, like I said, there's a flag hitting. Let me see if I can show it real quick using the 10-game group count. So let me go to E. And then I got to change the groups. So you go to F4, change number groups. The first group would end at 13. Second one. Now the reason why I'm doing this is a matter of simplification because I like to think of the game as a 5 of 39. It used to be a 5 of 39 until they made the 43. So the fourth group is just going to end at 43. Now, let me see. Save settings is F6. Now, it doesn't really matter. And I'll show you the hot and hitting. So here is like no score from 1 to 13. Here's your 2. Here's 0, 0. And here's a 3. So because I'm counting 1, 2, 3. So this is like an X. These would be like, if we're looking at chart 4, these would be the X's, or I mean looking at 4A, this would be in the X's. This would be 1, 2, X, X, 1, 2, 3, X, 1, 2, 3, 4, X, X, 1, 2, 3, 4, X, X, 1, X, 1, 2, X, 1, 2, 3. So that would be how it would be interpreted as a 4A. And then of course it was a 4, it would just be going from top to bottom. Instead of an X, it's a power sign. And for 4A, I'm putting in 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of the dashes like here. And here's another one where you had a flag, so no score. And this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a score here, X. So it's the same as a flag formation, but it's a little bit in reverse or kind of complementary, like the mirror image of it, sort of what's happening on the other side. So let me see. If you look at the bar charts, here's your numbers not scoring. So it's been 1, 2, 3 games since you've had no numbers scoring. Now the average here is showing 15.2. So that's, where is that? Over here. So generally, you would think that you wouldn't consider to play no number scoring here. I apologize for my computer running hot. I don't know. Well, I don't know if it's the fan. I know it's probably annoying. It's annoying to me too. There was an update on the computer automatically, and I noticed the number was running hot when I was watching YouTube. So I shut the YouTube, and then I put the computer to sleep, and I don't know. It just comes and goes. So anyway, the average is 15.2. So usually what would happen is that when you get above the average, you would start looking for no numbers to score. So like here, you were way above the average at around 21, and then you had 2 drawings not scoring. And then here you're still above the average, no, not scoring. And this was, let me see, this is, if I count these numbers, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are actually intermediates. So the last dormant period was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's been a long time since a dormant period. Okay, here's an obvious dormant period. You can count how many here. You've gone way over the average here at 26. All right, but it looks like it's in a flag formation for not hitting. So it's been 3 drawings, and I'm going to stick with that. Of course, it could switch all of a sudden, and then the 7 will start hitting, and you'll have low numbers. And a matter of fact, if you look at the number, the result that came out, there's 2 in the first group, 2 in the second group, and 1 in the third group. So that's a 2-2-1. And now that came out off of an exhaustion. It had been 31 games since the last time that occurred, so it could be, you could be having a trend reversal, but I'm not ready to go with the 7 because it's only been 1 dormant period, and I don't know the maximum dormant periods that it's had, and I'd prefer to stay with that flag with the 10 game group count. Now, what I like to do also here is I like to look at the 4B. So F4, this is the 4A, which is the Pac-Man that she said, because she talks about, it looks like a Pac-Man, you know, with the dots, and this would be like pellets, and you could do a Pac-Man. The Pac-Man will go this way. But when she talks about it in the book, she's talking about looking for the diagonal. And it works okay. I never really had any luck with it, and so I never really utilized it. I prefer to this. Now here is your 7 with this 1 dormant period it just hit. So here it came in reverse. Here it came in reverse. Here it repeated. And for some reason I just don't like it. I'm liking the 24 here. Because the 24, if you look here, it had 5 dormant periods. So here it had a flag after 1, 2, 3, 4 dormant periods. Then it had a flag. Then it had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 3, 3, 1, 4. So I like the 24 better. So I would go with the companion of the 24. So what I would do, and I only know that because I counted the dormant periods like a week ago, and I played a multi-draw of 7 games, and I won two number prizes. So that's $2. So it's better than nothing, I guess. I really want to break even, win the $7 back, but maybe, you know, the 25 didn't. Oh, sorry, let me go back. The 25 that I had played, shit, F4. If I looked at 25 on the 4B, the 25, it screwed me. Here you had a flag. Here, 05, see, 06, Han hitting 103. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 dormant periods, and now you had a 06209. So I thought you'd get a hot skip after this 9, but now we're at a 9-9 bottom. So it could come back into the flag, into the streak, or it could cascade out into the next dormant period, where then it would be one to reset the count at 1 dormant period after all of this NEXUS streak here. So so if I play the 24, I probably wouldn't play the 25 today, or if I went near the cutoff, I might play 1 line, and then depending whether the 25 hit again, I would play another multi-draw. But I have to time that because I want to get to the store, play the number, see what time the results are drawn, and then see what time the next drawing is occurring. And that's just so I don't have to go back to the store the next day. So I have to work that out logistically, and then that's also weather permitting. And then I have to consider if I'm going to bring my computer, and then I'm going to say where can I sit, and do another workout, or if I have to do another workout, meaning looking at the long skips and stuff. But right now that 25 is not really, I don't like it. I'm not feeling it. So all right, so I look at companion number chart. So I go to number 8 now. Now I want to see what the best number is with the 24. So here's the 24. Now this also, I've exported this out of Advantage Gold into an Excel so I can get the filtering options. Now there are filtering options in Advantage Gold, but there's no conditional formatting options. So the conditional formatting options in Excel with the filtering, not filtering, sorry, with the sorting, I use that with my wheel. So maybe I'll do a video of that one time. And that's the wheel I made in Excel. All right, so let's go to 24. All right, so here's your 24, number 24. This is 24 here. And you look and see what some of the best numbers that come out with it. Now this looks like a 5. This is, I had played the 19. The 19 was a 05 flag yesterday. Now it's a 06 flag. So let me see, 30. It's easier actually to use a numeric chart. So let me see. Number 5, number 1, number 19, number 2, number 37. So let's look at the 37 and the 28. We're trying to stay the high numbers. Now the 37 is interesting because it's adjacent off the 36 that just hit yesterday. So 37 and 28 we're going to look at on chart 4, and this is where I do my cross-referencing. So here's the recent draw. Here's a 37. So 37 looks good. It's a hot skip after this intermediate. This is where the flag stretches out, because here's your 1. You actually had a 1-1, and then you would look for 5 for the flag generally, or the 6. So you didn't get this flag, so now it's at an 8, and now I look for a hot skip. So right there I have two numbers that I'm definitely going to play today. That's the 24 and the 37. So then if we have an adjacent movement this way, I would have to look at the 38 and the 39. Now you could have like two numbers, a neighboring pair, 37, 38, but I would like to look and see how the 38 and the 39 compare with the 19 and the 14. Now I like to use the ice pyramids better, but I haven't made any for this game yet because I have to work on the macro, and writing the macro is hard enough, but then keeping order of where the macros are, what they do, that's also a pain. So I might have to make like my own macro workbook to put all the macros. I've never done that, but she talks about it in the course. And anyway, that's just an option. So I'm just going to look briefly here. I'm going to remember 38 is 1914, and actually it'll show you on the chart. Now okay, so I'll do it two ways. All right, so let's look at the F4 real quick. The 4B. And now this is one way to look at your long shots. All right, so number 38. So you're at 19. So I'm comparing all the dormant periods going back. Here's a 36. That's scary. 31. Scary. Any 19s? Here's a 17. So there's no obvious recent trend, right? Here's an 18. Here's a 19. Here's another 19. So that looks good. But you can see the trend here was here. This was 19, 18. So that was the trend there. Here's a 21. But there's no current trend anywhere here with any 19s. There's no bottom area. So let's look at the 39. Here's a 14. And then we go back to 12. There's some symmetry there. There's 12, more symmetry. 18, 18, 12. But that's symmetry on the upside. I would feel better if this was if you had a 13 here, and this was like a 14, and this was a 15. Then I would feel more comfortable saying that there's a long-term trend of symmetry. Here's a 15. So this is one way I use this. And then I would look at I go back to the skip charts. Chart 6, go to F4. Skip chart, go to down arrow, go to number 38. Where are we? All right, so here's your 19. So it is pretty good, above average. So let me see. This is the average. Longest skip is 53. so that's scary. So if it doesn't hit 19, then you're thinking 21. Now, if it doesn't hit at 21, you have a hole here at 22, and then 23 is small, and then 24. So that's the logic between playing the 38 and then the 39. You can see here. All right, I went back just to check to see if the scale changed. So 39 and 38 both have the same 48 scale. So this is the 19, and then going to the whoops, the wrong way. All right, well, yeah, shoot. Where am I going? Getting my arrows screwed up. Oh, so here's the 37, 0, 1, 2. So it looks kind of decent in the skip chart. You can see the scale. It's scaled up to 64 here. And then if we look at 38, let's see. You can see it's scaled down. Oh, and 39. So here, the 14 is pretty good, right? And then the 15 is good. And the 16 is okay. 17 is terrible, but the 18 is kind of good. So based on this long-term possible trend, I'm going to play 37-39 for the gap 1 over the 37-38 of the gap 0. So again, it's more logic. So now I have 3 numbers. Okay, so let's see. Let's do an advanced filter here. So bring it all full circle. Where am I? Chart 4. Okay, let's look in. All right, let's go back to the drawing since hit chart and see. Okay, so you got the 24 here, and you can see it's 3, 3, 1, 4. So the 4 is symmetrical to the 3 on the upside and the 3 here. Or you could say that this is the first upstroke in the flag formation, right? With a 1, 4. Even though I kind of consider this as a starting point, sort of. I mean, I'm kind of going against what she's saying in the Lottery Master Guide, but whatever. So this is because you have a 3, 3. You don't have the 0, 1, or the 2. But the 3, like here, I wouldn't have looked 3, 5. I would have looked the symmetry first, because I've made that mistake. If you see a 1, 1 and you start looking for 5, you're gonna miss a 1, 1, 1, 1 or a 1, 1, 2, 2 or a 1, 1, 3, 3, something like that, right? So that's why looking for the flag is good, but that's your second anticipation. You don't want to look flag first. You want to look for the symmetry first. So we have 1, 4 on your upstroke. Now it could come out 24 or 25 here, right? As this adjacent movement, and then you have the 9, 9, right? So this is tricky because the 9, 9 is obvious symmetry, but you don't know if it's going to cascade out. So let's see. And then, but your 26 could repeat. Here's your 1, 0, 5 flag. 26 could repeat, or you could have an adjacent here with the 4, 0 to the 6. Now I could say, all right, let's look at the adjacent charts, which is chart number C. But this chart was always hard for me to read. It was like very, very hard, like logically, to be able to input this. Now this also, I would print this out and then mark, the numbers that have the highest. Now the advantage goal allows you to sort, so you could sort it and then print it out and then highlight it. Now it does give you the stars for the smart picks. So this is like the last number came out was 26, and then so you say, yeah, 25 is an adjacent 58 times, and then you could, well, let's do an analysis. But sometimes I would do the analysis because my brain couldn't understand the logic behind it. To had at least one adjacent number, because you can have an adjacent number, but I already got the 20. Well, the 20. No, I already have the 37 as an adjacent, so that's 1. Now the last number I told you I was able to remember it because they had all the adjacents. The 7 was adjacent, the 10 was adjacent, the 36 was adjacent, and was 26 adjacent? I'm not sure. I can't remember. So all right, and then you do projection. But this is always a pain. You'd have to read this out. You got to take time and read this and to know the math, and I really honestly don't feel like reading it right now. So I could use that, but what I'm going to do, it said the advanced filter. So it's been a while since I did the advanced filter. Let me see, cluster, skip, gap, Let's see. Okay, that's the filter I'm going to do. All right, let me see. All right, so I haven't done it in a while. I'm doing it on memory right now. I really should have wrote down the steps. Filter. Okay, so okay. My overall game plan is there's going to be no numbers from 1 to 13. So the history view filter over here. These are advanced filters. I'm sure a lot of players have not done this filter, and the reason why you can't use the filter is you have to have a starting point idea that you're looking at, right? So the groups, you can filter out the groups. You can filter by certain hits with certain numbers, right? So, and if you don't have a starting point idea, concept that you're working with, it's hard to run a filter because nothing's going to come into your head, generally. So if I go to O, history view filters, and you want to view only specified hits with. Now you can't do hits with, like I could put in hits with, and then all numbers hits with 14 to 43. That is that huge group, but you don't have enough space for it. So you have to do the inverse and do hits with. View all except specifies hits with. And since we're not looking for numbers from 1 to 13, we're going to do the F. So hits required for a match is 1. I'm not really sure what 2, 3, 4, 5, what happens if you put in those different ones. I never really tried it. But so I always put just 1. And then you hit enter. And then these are the numbers that you don't want to have hits in your filter. So you put a space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, whoops. 10, 11, 12, 13. Now you could do it the other way possibly. Maybe all the numbers will fit, but for some reason I remember having a problem. I think it was with Lotto where I was trying to remove 20 numbers. And anyway, I don't know. It appears there's more space here, but I could be wrong. To do it the opposite way. But anyway, the results should be the same. Should be, in quotes. So I hit enter. Alright, now you got a filter. You can see the drawings in memory have changed here from the 8188 to 1053. Now, you could save this as a filter, but I'm not going to save it as right now, although I could. But yeah, I don't know, it just becomes more headaches because then you add a game, and then you have to go to that game to do the filter, which I don't know, doesn't save that much time, but you could do it, but I'm not going to do it now. So now we're going to go back to the main menu. And now, whoops, no, we don't want to stop. All right, and then we're going to do, whoops, hit enter. What is it? I think companion pairs. I think that's the one. So we hit number 9. All right, and then it's going to roll through the filter. Oh, shit. Did I want to? Well, this is always a little confusing. I don't know. No, it should be 1, right? Should it be 1? All right, to 1997. All right, that's fine. Because then you can see here's the date. So I'm having all the information. And now I'll hit enter again. Use a negative number for fixed range. I've never actually done that, so I'm not even going to mess with it now. And then you hit enter. Whoops. And then you hit enter. All right, now it does its calculations. All right, so now it tells you here it's not considering any numbers from 1 to 13. And now you're looking at all of the possibilities. Now, after running this filter, actually, I should print it out. That's what I should do. Let's see. Fuck. All right, I'll print it out after because this is a good hard copy chart to have to look for pairs for that particular occurrence where you have no numbers from 1 to 13. So let me see. So here it tells me some quads, bunch of quads. Any quints? All right, here's a couple of quints. So these two combinations both occurred twice when no numbers from 1 to 13 occurred. Now the only problem now is that if I try to compare these numbers, like here's the 24. So if I try to compare these combinations, so let's see. All right, let's look at let's see 1724, just as a guide. Now if I go back to chart 4, the filter has the drawing sense hint chart has now been filtered. So essentially, in my opinion, it becomes worthless. Now you could say, all right, this is 3203, but it's just a filter pattern. So that's why when I do all my filtering, I always have a hard copy drawing sense hit chart, and I calling it the Big Dish TGGC. All right, now I'm going to post a copy of that in my Excel when I scan it. But I just wanted to just illustrate that and you can see here that this is this is this not every drawing. Now if you were able to export the data here, you could make a skip chart and say, how many games generally is it between 1 through 13 numbers not appearing. Anyway, computer's running hot again. Sorry about that. Hope it's not too annoying. I don't know if it's the fan. I mean, the computer is already now almost 4 years old. My other computer died, and I had the Gale Howard Advantage Plus on it that I downloaded from the website with my key. This program here is running off of a flash drive, which Gale gave me as a gift back in, it must have been like 2011, 2012. So when that computer died, the Advantage Plus died, and I didn't want to look for the key. I didn't want to speak to Joe, so I found the flash drive. I downloaded the information. So here it is, and I actually tried to run it on the other computer, which you can, but the recorder, it's saying oh fuck, it's my uncle. I don't want to talk to him right now. Shit. It's saying that the hardware doesn't have enough data to the hardware doesn't have enough requirements to run the recorder, which I don't understand because I downloaded Windows 10, and that was hard enough. I had to partition the drives. Every program is wiped. It basically turned into a 1 terabyte flash drive, which I guess is better than nothing. So anyway, let's get back to the filter. So let's go back to chart 9. Oh, it's gotta run again, so we'll let it run again. Now the numbers that I liked was now again I have a hard copy drawing sense hit chart. The 24 that I said, and then where did I update this? Correct? Where's the I didn't update the last drawing. So it was skip 14 for the long shot, 37, 39. But I wanted to do I'm just going to do 24, 24, 37. And then it should give me, and I don't need my glasses. The screw fell out of my glass and the lens keeps falling out. It's so annoying. I gotta go buy a new screw today. Okay, so we hit function F4, hit width. So I already said I like the 24. I'm gonna pair it with the 37. And now, okay, it tells me how many times these numbers came out together with this particular filter. 25 hits. Now, whether that's good or not, I don't know, but I could see another option you could do here is now with the filter, if you go to companion number 8, and then you do the individual, go to F4, and then you go to 24. Oh, the numeric chart is, the numeric chart is easier to determine. So 24 here. So 19 is much better than the 37, but the 19 is not looking good on the overall drawing sense hit chart. And excuse me, the 17 looks better because the 19 is at skip 6, the 17 is at skip 2, the 23 is at skip 16, and so where was the, so the 37 is over here, so it's way not at the top. So I generally I would go through all these numbers, but I already know I like the 37 based on its drawing since hit chart pattern. Came off 2 dormant periods. The dormant period was 16 games. Came in reverse flag, 5 games. Continued to cascade down to 5, 1, 1, 1, 1. That's a 1, 2, 3. That's a quadruple bottom. And then it cascaded up to 8, and now I'm looking for the hot skip of 8 at 2. So I mean, it could be out of gas because of the 1, 1, 1, 1, but I'm just gonna go with the hot skip with the, and that's the 37 again. Okay, so let's go back to that filter. 9. Let it compute again. Do the F4 hit width. We're going to stick with the 24 and 37. Hit enter. Okay, now these now I can go scroll down and see which lines look best, and see, like here 24 37 is the starting, 24 37, 24 37. So where the 24 is the first number and 37 is the last number. So then I would compare the numbers in between. So here's 31, 34, 35, which actually did just hit recently, I believe. And then here we have 35 again. Now it's at 32. Whoop, I meant to do the front. There's 28. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to compare 24 is the first number and 37 with the last. So here's 34, 37. So here 26, 30, 30. Now 26, 36 just hit yesterday. You could have a repeater. You could throw one of those in there. Like I said, the 26 is the 5-0. 36 again. That was only 4 games in between. But the other thing you have here is the summary. So this makes it easier to see which numbers you want to guess. So the 28, and now again I'm looking at the hard copy drawing since hit chart. You can hear? I got it on a clipboard in front of me, and I'm looking at it, and then I'm looking at the number 28. So the 28 is skip 5, and the skip pattern is coming off 4 dormant periods. It came in reverse flag, so 16, 6, 4, 3, and now 5. So 6, 4, 3, 5 is very good symmetry, so I'll definitely throw in the 28 into my line, and then I'll figure out the other lines later. I could do more, but I'm going to stop. I want to see what this guy wants, because usually when he calls, that means he's in the neighborhood or he wants to come here. But I really don't feel like having any visitors, and like I said, I got to go down. Or I got to play the numbers, and I want to get the screw for my glasses, and I got to take a shower, and I got to organize all my junk, because it's like a half-hour trip by bicycle to get to the store. And I want to make sure it doesn't rain, because yesterday the weather said that the forecast there was rain, but then today there's no rain. Precipitation is only at 24%. Yesterday it was like 40%. So I want to make sure I get the sun. So to wrap it all up, I don't have 5 numbers, but I'll post a ticket and I'll post a drawing when I do my next video. Let me just write down here what I have. So I got the 19, and that's the thing, it's hard to stay organized with your selections. And then tomorrow I'm not going to remember anything that I did with this workout. Not tomorrow, but at least in 3-4 days I won't remember my starting points, what I was looking at. So okay, so I got my notebook over here, and we got the number 24. Okay, 5 dormant periods. That's why we like it. Number 37, adjacent. Also, there was another reason why I liked it. And then through, with using the 2437 filter of no numbers, I'm writing this down because I'm going to forget it. No numbers from 1 to 13. We are suggested Okay, the number 26, which is the best number. It's also a repeater. And the other number is number 28, which is, what was it? Skip 2? Intermediate hot skip. All right, so, oh, I tell you, before we wrap it up, what I'll do is, okay, so I'm gonna clear the filter now. History view filters, go back to O. Function F4. Stupid computer fan. I don't know if I don't want to open it up and mess it up or anyway. All right, so I cleared the filter. All right, now escape. Now we'll go back to chart 4 and we're going to compare those selections versus the drawing since hit. Since the current drawing since hit chart. So here's your 24. 26 is a repeat. Now 26 would be this is 1, 2, 3, fourth number repeating. So I'm going to look at my drawing since hit chart. My positional repeater chart to see how it looks for the fourth number to repeat. But it looks kind of good. I think I'd prefer the 26 over the 24 because if I'm going to play a multi-draw, this will just be hot skips, right? First it'll be 0, then 1, then 2, then 3. But this will be going 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's starting to cascade out while this one is still remaining within the NEXUS streak or flag formation, however you want to describe it or categorize it. So the 24 here. So you got 24, 26, which is good because there's a gap. 37 is good. It's an adjacent. It's a hot skip off of this 8. And you had here, this was the quadruple bottom or the quadruple symmetry. So here's your 16. Came in reverse, 5 games. You had 1, 1, 1, 1. So the way I like to say is here's the first one. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's quadruple bottom, right? Now this is not really. Yeah, that's how I like to say it. It makes more sense, and it just seems more logical. Because somebody might say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, quintuplet bottom, counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. But I count the first 1, 2, 3, 4. I call that a quadruple. So here you would say 5 for a flag or 6 for a flag. It's cascaded out to 8, and now I look for the intermediate hot skip. This is a pattern that I generally always use as a power number. I'll play the 8-0, play the 8-1, I'll play the 8-2, then I'll play the 8-3, and then I'll drop it at that point. And I would say I'll say 75% of the time it'll come in. But you'll have several numbers doing that, and sometimes you might have to do a double power number wheel with that. But that's just generally a rule that I just made on my own from my own observations. So then you got the 37. So here you have one adjacent at least. And now instead of the boom boom here with the neighboring pair, I'm going to go boom boom. So I'm going to go 1 gap 1. So I would look like boom boom boom. So I could throw in a 41 here, looking for the 1, which is not terrible. So that would be now that's gap strategies. Boom, gap 1, right? As opposed to I could do 37, 38, 39 and cover 2 gap 0s and 1 gap 1, but that's not what I'm going to do. So I got the 24, the 26, the 37, the 39, a long shot, which is good. And then we got to decide what we're going to do here. So I might look a little deeper at the 42, how it looks like coming in with these numbers. I might run the filter again. But the 41 looks kind of decent. Both of these are a good option, but with only one line, it's hard to, I'm going to have to make a hard choice. So I'm going to look at the 4B just to show you what they've been doing. So this one has been kind of decent. Here's a little hot and hitting area. Here's your flag. 2 dormant periods, a little hot and hitting. And then 1 dormant period, had a flag. 2 dormant periods, so it's kind of hot and hitting for the 42. And then the 41 also The 41 here had a very good hot and hitting. Here it had a 1-5 flag, 7, so now it's 0-0-1. So I might do the 20 for 41 only because I already hit $2 with the same 24.41. So I'll say, all right, look for the trend to continue to coming together instead of looking for a different number. So that might be the line that I'm playing. I'll post the line and probably do another video showing the wheel with the filter and some other ideas that I had going on in my head. All right, so that's it. This is for upcoming drawing June 20th, first day of summer. Happy summer, everybody. Happy Father's Day tomorrow for all the fathers. And what else? I guess that's it. This guy has not texted me. Usually he'll text me after if I don't pick up, and I don't hear him leave a message. He didn't leave a message, and anyway, the sooner I get the numbers, I get out of the house, then we don't have to connect if I don't want to. I don't really feel like calling him back. I want to get this done. I want to take a shower, get my shit packed, get down to the store before it rains, get this line in, get some stuff at the, buy some other, go to the supermarket, buy some stuff. And I said I would play one line for Rusty, but he hasn't texted me or called back. I'm not going to ask twice. And what I might do, because I was going to play, what I did was I played one multi-draw, 7 lines for me, and then I played one multi-draw, 3 lines for him, because I didn't want to play 7 days for his line. His line only hit $1 anyway, and it was like on the last draw, like on the 7th draw. What I might do is I might do the 7-line draw with this one line, and then I'll tweak it and do 3 lines, because I really don't want to do 2 multi-draws for $14, but I throw down a tenner. This way I don't have any change. I have the 7 and the 3, and the most draws I could do is 7 draws on the ticket. Although actually it might be possible to do more draws if on the terminal if you're punching the buttons. But I don't know. I've never been back there. I don't feel comfortable with the people yet to get back there. The guy at the smoke shop, I could probably go back there. He might let me go back there and look. They won't do it at the supermarket. I'm like 90% sure. He might because he's a small business owner. He's got more leeway as far as what he lets to go on in his store, as opposed to the big corporation. They're not going to let me go back there. And besides, there's other people back there, and there's just a lot of money back there. Not that the other guy doesn't have a lot of money back there also, but it's more personal, sort of. Yeah, so let's say for instance I was going to do a separate multi-draw, so I could do that, right? I could do like 7 lines with the 41 and then 3 lines with the 42. So it could be considered like a 4 power number wheel and you just switch the one number, or it's a 3 power number wheel and you switch 2 numbers. Like for instance, I could do 24, 26, 37, 39, 41 in 7 lines, and do 3 lines with 24, 25, 37. Wait, is that 24, 25? That's 37, 30, 39, and then 42. So I've tweaked 2 numbers. So that's because I wheel logically. I never really use any Gellhard wheels, right? Because basic wheeling, you're just shifting the numbers left and right. That's basically what you're doing. So I like to shift manually. Now, what happens sometimes though is I start overthinking too much. So really, better thing to do is to run a Gellhard wheel. Then you get your 10 lines, or whatever, right? And then you tweak the numbers to get at least one perfect line. You say, all right. So this is like, so say I'm running the 10 line wheel, or however many lines. You say, okay, but this one line is my money line. This is the line I'm looking for. It's got all the repeats. It's got the adjacents. It's got the gaps. That's the one line that I want. And then the other 9 lines are just the coverage. And that way, you don't have to go crazy, doing a manual wheel, because I have gone crazy doing it, like hours spent, and then And then you lose the guarantee. But sometimes you can do better. Sometimes you can do worse. You don't know. It's really just a crapshoot. It's 50-50. There's no way to say. But with big wheels, I would say make sure you have one particular line that if you had to play only $1, that's the one that you want to hit. So anyway, those are just my thoughts. I hope to get around to posting this. I actually have like hundreds of gigabytes of videos that I've made, which I've never really posted. So I'm going to get into posting them. And I also am going to post a recording of Gail explaining the 4A, 4B chart, and I'm going to get around to that. But I say that a lot. I'm going to get around to it. But I'm going to get around to getting to the store today because I told Rusty I'll be leaving 2ish, and the time right now is 12:40. And if he doesn't send me a line, I'm not going to ask for a line. I'll go with that line. Or I can just pretend I didn't get the line. But anyway, I'm not going to ask twice. He might be busy. He might have forgot. He said he was mentally exhausted yesterday. So I'm not going to really worry about it. And actually, it's better to do a separate line for myself because I know what I'm looking for the first line. And then the second line, I can tweak it. Whereas if I play his line, I can see what he's playing. But if I don't like it, I'll be like, all right, dude, yeah, send me your line, but I don't like this number. So it's like I want him to send me a line, but then at the same time, I want to tell him I don't like that number. I'm not playing it, So it gets kind of weird. Anyway, that's it. It's been a long time. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing well in this crisis, this never-ending crisis we appear to be in. Hope everybody is healthy and happy, and that's it. Peace out, everybody. Happy number hunting.